5 tips from a cancer survivor that everybody needs to know.
Remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the notifications button so that you never ever miss an episode.
I am not a cancer survivor myself, but my mom is. She was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer over 30 years ago, and doctors told her that there was a chance that she could pass away within 3 to 6 months. 30 years later, she's still alive, she's very healthy, she's a very funny, wise woman, and she has a message for you. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you these 5 tips, and then I'm gonna explain to you why those tips are powerful, where they're coming from, how they can potentially help you. And in the end, we're gonna do a meditation, a breathwork meditation. I'm also gonna explain to you how that meditation works and how it makes sense, how it can help you and support any treatment that you may be going through. This video is not only for cancer patients. This video is meant for anyone that is either going through a health challenge of any kind, or any healing process, or any treatment. This will be good for everybody. This can also help you. They're just very good life lessons. So these are good for everybody. The techniques and everything that we're going to speak about are also great for children. I believe that children need to understand this as early as possible. And this is good for all ages and all health statuses. So about 31 years ago, I was 4 years old. And back then, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at that time, there had already been losses in the family, painful tragedies due to cancer at that point. So when my mom found out that she herself had cancer, she was already aware of how powerful the enemy was. And she had already dealt with a sister that had passed away. I remember this because I never met her, but I remember my family talking about this woman, my aunt, that I never got to meet. So when my mom was confronted with this, she knew what she was up against. And later on, this story has a happy ending. She's still alive. Unfortunately, over time, more people in the family were also faced with these challenges of cancer, and not everyone made it through. And my mom was there helping her sisters and brother when it was time, when this was going on. And some are still alive. We're very happy about that. Like this amazing women are hanging out with their grandchildren at the moment, so that's very beautiful. So again, this story does have a happy ending. So everything that I'm going to speak about in this video for you or whoever needs some kind of support, I cannot say that this is the answer. I am not a doctor. This is not health advice at all. These are tips. This is a story from someone that survived, and you take what you want. I just hope that this will help someone out there to have the tools or more tools on your side to help you go the direction that you want to go in this epic battle for your own health and your own life. So just so you understand also, my mom has a master's degree in biology. And when she was about 4 years old, almost 20 years, more than 20 years ago now, we emigrated, we went to Canada, and she became a dental hygienist. So she's very familiar with science, and she's also has a lot of experience helping people go through health challenges. So everything that I'm going to say does not come from me. It's her message, it's her life story. And I'm her son, so I was there the whole time. And even though this was a long time ago, I remember many of these moments that we're going to speak about. So first I want to tell you the 5 tips, and then later on I will explain to you how they can help you in the situation that you may find yourself or someone else may find themselves. You may be caring for someone, or you may be going through something. I really hope that this can help you. So these 5 lessons are, the first one is mindset, and we'll speak about that in a second. The second one is support from people that understand you and support you. We'll speak about that in a second. The third one is understanding that your own health and your own survival and your own fight is entirely up to you. We'll speak more about that. The fourth one is know yourself, know your body, develop a very strong connection with yourself, with your spirit, with your body. We'll talk about that. And the last one, and this is a very interesting thing, is tools that have helped people out before, and they have very strong potential to help anyone out there. These are music, creativity, expression of art, meditation, and breathwork. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a breathing technique that can help anyone with any healing process or any treatment that you may be going through. So this is not an end result. I'm not claiming that this can cure anything. What I'm saying is that all these tools are in your favor, and they will help you go through with like power and positivity and finding that light in the end of the tunnel. So when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, she tells me the story that she was at home crying. And I was 4 years old back then. And then I showed up to her, and this little kid didn't know what was going on, but he started bawling, crying as well. And then at that moment, my mom realized that because of this little guy, she just had to pull through somehow. Also, she had seen other losses in the family already, so she knew what was going on. But very early on, as soon as she was diagnosed, she made a decision to pull through, to find a way no matter what. So that brings us to the first tip, which is mindset. Many of these stories of healing, there are thousands and thousands of stories of people that have pulled through very challenging health situations. And one thing that we find in common in a lot of these stories is the mindset. Is at some point the person made a decision, and again, this comes from my mother. This person made a decision to find a way out no matter what. Somehow there's a way out, and I'm gonna find it. And I will not let anything get in the way of me staying healthy and alive. So my mom tells a story that when she started her treatments, she started it right away. She didn't wait at all. And she went through the treatments like right away, instantly. And she started going to a specific clinic. This is back in Colombia over 30 years ago. And she was telling me that at first, this clinic is really depressing. This clinic, which had the best treatments for cancer, the best doctors for cancer back in the day, close to Bogota, where we're from. This clinic was filled with people with all kinds of cancers of all stages, and it can be very freaky to be around people with like very advanced forms of disease, and it can be very crazy. So at first she's in this hospital, in this place filled with people in crazy situations. So at first it's very scary for her. And then she said that one thing that really marked her was that over time she realized that what was taking people down was not so much the illness itself or the treatments, but the way they would see themselves and their mindsets. So she understood that there's the treatment itself, but then there's the people, and through the conversations she could understand if a person had that confidence or like that desire to continue, or maybe perhaps not. So I'm not saying that, with all due respect for all the people that have lost the battle to a disease, again, with all due respect, I'm not saying that they didn't have this or they didn't do this or anything like that. Every case is very unique. Every case is very special and has its own challenges. There's no one way that works for everybody. So it's up to you to find your own way. But what my mom was saying is that the people that over time were like losing the battle and they were just losing the spirit, there was something in their mind that was just not there. There was it's almost like a rebellion, like a fighting pose against this crazy threat. So at this point, she realized that she was against something huge and very strong and very dangerous. But she made the choice to not be scared. So she was facing this life-threatening challenge without fear. She had respect for it, and she understood that it was going to be a huge battle, and it wasn't going to be easy, but she wasn't scared for it. And she never allowed herself to fall from that. She made the decision to be part of the statistics of the people that made it. Obviously, at that time, she received the news, something like 2 out of 3 people pulled through the treatment, something like that. And she made the decision, okay, I will be the statistic of those that pull through. So somewhere in her mind, there was a conscious decision to just go for it. And no matter what, just find a way. So that's part of the mindset. And then I remember this because I remember when my mom had one of her breasts removed. I was very young, but I remember that she had a bra with like socks in it to kind of make up for it. I remember when she would wear it, and there was like this, all her bras had this like socks and stuff in it. And I remember making fun of that. I remember saying that I was lucky because they had to remove my dad's breast, which was for coffee, and then mine, which was for milk, was still there. And I remember very well like making these kinds of jokes with my mom. My mom gives you as an advice to keep your spirit, to say jokes and like find joy in things, do things that you enjoy, keep your spirit up. It does not matter what the treatment is, whether it's a modern medicine, holistic medicine, it doesn't matter the treatment. If the mind is not strong, the treatment won't be as effective. So to put more chances on your side, your mind and that decision to pull through somehow, no matter what, will help you go further and find the way. So it's very important to make that decision. I will find a way no matter what, no matter what. And then at that point, that brings us to the second tip, the second piece of advice, which is finding allies and finding people that support you on that vision. So my mom tells the stories that back then when she was going to the hospital all the time, over time she developed love and compassion for everybody that was there. So at first it's scary to see people with like very intense health challenges, but then she started loving them and speaking with them and having compassion for them. Over time, she actually developed love for the institution. So she was actually happy to go there, and she started having friends within the institution. And then she tells the story that she had 3 other friends, which were also women, and they were constantly making fun of themselves, making fun of the fact that they lost their hair. They were making fun of the wigs. They were making fun of everything. They were just helping each other keep that state of mind. And because my mom had made this decision to find a way no matter what, other people that liked that idea became her friends. So they were supporting each other. So she chose to see her situation with a certain reality tunnel, in a certain way. So maybe somebody will tell the person with a health challenge, you have this much time left to live, or something like that. And it's possible, it's very easy to accept that information as real, especially coming from doctors and from modern medicine. And then what that does is it creates a tunnel that points you to a certain direction. And because somewhere in the back of your mind, the patient thinks that there's a chance that it may not happen, without realizing the person may be going that way. So my mom consciously thought, okay, it does not matter what they tell me, I choose to see the reality tunnel where at the end I'm fine. and I'm healthy and everything is okay. This is temporary, and all of the treatments and everything that is going on is so I stay healthy, and they are preventing me from getting sick. So my mom decided to see herself not as someone that was broken or that had a problem, but instead as someone that is healthy and that she's making sure that she doesn't fall off the wagon. And with her team of people, they were all encouraging each other. This part is very delicate because obviously losing your hair is a very intense thing. Like having to go through an operation where you remove a piece of your body is intense. It's very, very, very traumatic. And you know, I remember this. My mom tells me many stories all the time that when I was a kid, must have been like 5 or 6 years old, I would come to her like after her breast had been removed, and I would say things to her like, "Hey mom, you're so beautiful." And I would touch that part of her body and be like, "You're so beautiful. Like you're so nice, you know, you're such a beautiful person." And she says that these things gave her so much more confidence. Also, she did not care. She did not care at all that she lost her hair. She did not care that her nails were weak. She did not care at all how she looked. She was just focused on pulling through, staying alive, and going back to 100% health. So again, this is very delicate, and I understand it's weird for a guy to speak about cancer and breast cancer and these things, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter what you look like, what people may see you as. It does not count. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is that you pull through, that the patient, that the person going through this challenge pulls through no matter what. So my mom says that at the beginning, she decided to study everything she could about the cancer, the treatments, and that's why she has so much respect for it, because she had studied it so much. And she learned as much as she could, and the treatments and everything, and she would ask advice everywhere. She would ask advice to different doctors, nurses, people that had gone through the same thing, other patients, pharmacists, holistic experts, naturopaths, everybody. She asked advice from everybody, and she absorbed as much information as possible so she could make her own choices. Which brings me to the next tip, which is your health is entirely in your hands. The doctors and the modern medicine are there to help you, but they're not necessarily the end result. These are tools to help you, and they're very powerful tools that deserve a lot of respect. A doctor they're amazing people that have worked so hard to where they are. Do keep in mind that a doctor has a list, like an endless list of people that they need to look at. So then when they see a specific person, the doctor has information and he's making decisions based on that information. But it's possible that that doctor doesn't know you fully, does not know your life. They don't know anything about you. So it will be very important for you to know yourself, know what your habits are, know what you're eating and how you're living your life. Be very aware of how you're living your life, so that when you receive information and proposals for treatments from doctors and from science, you can see that not as the end result, but as tools that can help you. And you can also take advice from holistic medicine and take that as tools and find your own combination, find your own way that will work for you. This made a huge difference for my mom. So then she understood, okay, the doctors are telling me this, it makes sense, let's do it. So she did her treatments, she followed the treatments to the T, and she also advises to like listen, pay attention to what the doctors are telling you, the treatments. If they ask you to take these pills, you know, follow it, follow what they're telling you. On her experience, many people, unfortunately, when they receive like prescriptions or a treatment to follow, sometimes people take it as though they're doing a favor to the doctor or the person giving the treatment. The person proposing the treatment, they don't really care. It's up to you to follow instructions and make sure that you're doing everything that you can to pull through. Which brings us to the next part, which is to know yourself. So when my mom was diagnosed with the breast cancer, was because she noticed that there was something weird. It wasn't even painful. It was just there was something there. And she was also a professional contemporary dancer, so she had a very strong and developed connection with her own body. So the moment that there was something alien, something weird, immediately she thought like, oh, I need to check this out, what's going on. So this connection with your own body is very, very, very important. Not only when you're healthy or when you're going through a health challenge, everybody needs to develop this awareness of the body and this connection with the body, so that you understand when for example, when you're eating certain foods, you understand the reaction in your body, so that you understand how the energy flows in your body and how certain things feel, and then that way you can be more aware when your body gives you signals. This is extremely important for everybody. And this brings us to the next part, which is tools that can help you develop this awareness of the body and to help you understand yourself and what you need. And these things will help you find your way to win your battle. So now, and again, this comes from my mom, this is where meditation and breathwork comes in. When you're used to meditating, you're practicing awareness of yourself. You're practicing to witness what's going on in your body. And the more you do this, the more you can understand what is normal. And if the day or when it happens that something that is a little bit, there's something going on, then you can catch it early on, and you can prevent a lot of things, or you can understand that things are getting better. You can help, improve your situation through meditation. There's another tool that is very important, which is music. And music therapy is very powerful. And Niraj, the creator of SOMA Breath, speaks a lot about this. Niraj himself, also, more than a decade ago, he healed himself from colitis. This is also a condition in the gut that many people will say that there's no cure. Many people get diagnosed with pills and medicine and meds for the rest of their life. So back then, 10 years ago, Niraj found a way to heal himself entirely holistically. And basically, SOMA Breath and me standing here right now is Niraj's path of understanding how is it that he was able to heal himself through meditation and breathwork and music. So 10 years later, he's helped many people go through autoimmune conditions, and now he's built a system, which is SOMA Breath, that is making a huge impact in the world. And interestingly enough, back then when Niraj was at the worst of his health condition, a good friend of his family, a Swami, who actually was a woman that healed herself holistically from cancer, she told Niraj, if you're able to find a solution to your health challenge, if you heal yourself, you're going to become an inspiration to other people. And he did, and that's why we're here. And everything that we preach in SOMA Breath, mindset and like community and like knowing yourself and taking full responsibility for your own health, these are elements that are common to many stories of healing, of people that pull through crazy situations. So music, back when Niraj himself was very ill, one thing that helped him out a lot is that he went into creativity. He loved making music, so he just started making a lot of music. And then he tells a story that, he's battling through, he has a lot of pain and there's all these crazy things going on in his body. But when he would listen to the music, he would get a peace in his body, like some sort of like relaxation feeling in his body. Later on, actually, one of the businesses that he had back then was this music, the same music that helped him pulled through his situation actually became a project on its own, and it's all the music that is at the basis of SOMA Breath today. So music is huge, and listening to music that you love is amazing. I've gone through this myself. When the pandemic started last year, I had a relationship and we separated, and this was a huge emotional pain for me. And I remember having this feeling here that would not go away, and it was very uncomfortable. And there was one song that I just really liked it, and I remember one time I listened to this song and I noticed that the feeling would go away, and for those 3 minutes I could have peace and I could cry, and I was able to clear things out, and it was very obvious. The moment that the song would finish, this feeling would come back. So for like months I would listen to this song for hours every day and just cry and cry and cry. So music therapy is very, very, very powerful. And in the meditation that we're going to do in a little bit, there's this type of music for you. The next step is, and this is where the power of SOMA Breath comes in, is breathwork. So breathwork obviously is not the answer, it's not the cure, but is a tool that can help you get to know yourself, and it can help you find peace in the body, and it can help you clear your mind so you can find decisions and find your own answers. So it's a very powerful tool. And now I'm going to show you one technique which is thousands of years old. It's very, very old, and it's past the test of time. This technique is very powerful. It's one of the core techniques of SOMA Breath. It's very simple, it's very easy, and it's very powerful. And I want to explain to you, before we do it, I want to explain to you why it works. A few years ago, Netflix released a documentary called Heal. I highly recommend you watch it because it's amazing. The movie talks about thousands of people that had terminal illnesses, and the doctors and the family and everybody thought that they were going to die. There was absolutely no hope, there were no treatments left, and this is or for people with all kinds of cancers and other diseases, and there was literally no hope. And somehow these patients, these people pulled through and survived and went back to living healthy lives. So the movie is all about that, and it has experts like Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and all the top scientists right now who are studying and merging science with spirituality in this topic of self-healing. So it's very interesting. And the climax of the movie explains that for your body to access this innate ability to repair itself, to heal itself, your body needs to be parasympathetic dominant. Now in the movie they talk about meditation, and there's even an example of a woman that she's going through a treatment and she's laying down on they're measuring, they have some machines, they're doing some kind of measurements, and they can tell that even though she's laid down with her eyes closed, not moving, her nervous system is not completely relaxed. So even though she seems completely relaxed, inside her body is not relaxed, so is unable to enter that state of self-healing. Now in the movie they talk about meditation a little bit and reasons to leave, but they don't exactly say how to make it so your body enters a state of dominance of your parasympathetic nervous system. Well, I'm about to give you one tool that can help you do that. This is one breathwork technique which is thousands of years old, is past the test of time, and there's a reason for that, because it's very effective. And I will show you the technique, and I will show you how you can tell that it's actually working. So this is a breathing technique that is at the core of SOMA. We all use it a lot. Many of us, we do it every day, and it's a technique that you can do as much as you want. We recommend that you do it 4-5 times a day, do it for an hour non-stop, do it as much as you can, there's no limit. And what this breathing technique does is it forces your nervous system to completely relax. Completely, that is like a hack in your body that just switches off stress, turns off like adrenaline, and it just puts your whole body into this state of sleep and self-repair. So the way it works is we can sort of explain the nervous system as having two parts. There's the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So anything that is related to energy and action is the sympathetic nervous system. So whenever you inhale, this is stimulating your sympathetic nervous system. That's why when you need energy, we inhale and hold. So this gives you energy. And when you exhale, every time you exhale, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which actually relaxes your body and stimulates digestion and sleep. So on every respiration that you're taking in and out, these two forces are going together. The idea is that you want to have a balanced nervous system. So when you inhale and you exhale, these two elements are coming together. Now, this technique that we're going to do is a technique for complete, deep, almost like extreme relaxation. And here's how it works. When we inhale, imagine that as you inhale, for example, for 2 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds. So you inhale again for 2 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds. Now, because you are exhaling for longer than you are inhaling, you're giving emphasis to the parasympathetic nervous system. So over time, what this does is that your body is becoming more parasympathetic dominant. This can happen very quickly, and we're gonna do it in a second. And the meditation at the end of the video is 5 minutes of just that, 2-4 breathing. When you're inhaling and exhaling, make sure you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Make sure that you're inhaling from your belly so that you're not inhaling like this or like this, but from your belly first. And also when you're inhaling, it can be very soft, very, very soft, just very soft. And you don't need to inhale full capacity of breath, and you don't need to exhale all of your air. The depth of air doesn't matter in this exercise. What matters is the amount of time. So let's try this. We're going to inhale for 2 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds with no pauses in between. Just inhale for 2 seconds and right away you exhale for 4 seconds and right away you inhale, kind of in a circular breathing. And you also have the breathing bubble that is going to give you a visual guide that you can follow. So let's try this for a few seconds and then we'll prepare to do the actual meditation after. So here we go. And inhale 2, exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, exhale 2, 3, 4. In 2, out 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 2, 3, 4. In, out, in, out. So that's it. It's that simple. Now we recommend that you do it for at least 3 minutes a day. Try doing it longer, but there's no limit. If you do full 5 minutes, 5 times a day, 3 times a day, you can do it a little bit in the morning, somewhere during the day, and somewhere at night. What this is doing is teaching your body how to access this parasympathetic state whenever you want. So this is, you can understand the benefits that this has. This will completely relax your body so that it can enter this self-healing state. This is going to make your immune system stronger, and this is going to help whatever treatment you're going through. This is going to enhance it and make it more effective, simply because you're relaxing so much that your body has the opportunity to heal itself. Now, you can also practice this technique. You just simply need to remember to inhale for 2 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds. You can get used to it. You can think in your own mind, like in, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, out. 2, 3, 4. So over time, you'll get better at it. So how do you know if it's working? It's very simple. You're gonna start feeling like you're gonna fall asleep. And actually, if you fall asleep doing this, yes, that means it's been a successful exercise. Because that's the point, to relax your body so much that it starts repairing itself. And when we're sleeping, the body has the best chances to repair itself. So you'll notice as you're doing the breathing that you may start like going like this, and then you'll catch yourself and like, oh, and then you sink to the breathing again, and then you keep doing the exercise, and then you'll start like oozing off, and then maybe if you like, I recommend you do this laying down. You can lay down, make sure that if you fall asleep, you're not gonna hurt yourself. But if you fall asleep, that's good. If you start yawning, and you feel like, if you really start like seriously like oozing out, that means it's working. So I leave you with the meditation now. I hope you enjoy it. There's also a few elements of subconscious programming in that meditation that will help you drive inside of your own subconscious mind this idea of pulling through no matter what, and having that hope and that confidence that even though you have a very difficult, challenging battle in front of you, it's okay. You have what it takes to pull through. You have all chances on your side to go through this challenge, and you can do it. I believe in you. We all believe in you. You can do it. So enjoy this meditation. You can do this as many times as you want during the day. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Follow SOMA for more of this amazing information and more at breathing techniques. And I hope to see you on a future video. Much love.
Sit comfortably with your back straight, or lay down without crossing your arms and your legs. The key is to be very comfortable. Close your eyes and give your full attention to the sounds of the music and my voice. Take a deep inhale through your nose and release through your mouth with a sound of good feelings. Again, take a deep inhale and release. Notice the different sensations in your body. You may feel the clothes that you're wearing, the surface in which you're resting. You may feel your tongue moving. You may feel your fingers touching each other. Notice how all over your body there are different sensations. These sensations aren't bad nor good. They're simply sensations. As you allow yourself to relax deeply, enjoying the sounds of the music and nature, allow yourself to sink into the ground and melt As you relax more and more, repeat these words in your mind. I am strong, capable, loving, harmonious, happy. I am strong, capable, loving, harmonious, and happy. I am responsible for my own health and my own happiness. I am responsible for my own health and my own happiness. Imagine that your body, with each inhale and exhale, gets filled with a beautiful, bright, white light. As you inhale through your nose, this light washes your whole body from your heart to every single cell. And as you exhale, this light grows brighter and stronger, washing your whole body with good feelings and good sensations. Each inhale intensifies this white, healing, beautiful light, and each exhale expands it all over your body. And now imagine that you are doing something that brings you joy. Imagine yourself living these moments that bring you peace and happiness and deep joy. Imagine yourself in full health, enjoying these beautiful moments that make you happy and bring you deep joy. Make this mental image as clear, as vivid as you can. Imagine yourself doing these things that give you joy. Notice the expression in your face and the posture in your body as you do the things that bring you joy. Notice how you're smiling, how you're at peace and in good health as you enjoy this activity that you love doing so much. And keep repeating these words as much as you can. I am strong, capable, loving, harmonious, and happy. I am strong, capable, loving, harmonious, and happy. I am responsible for my own health. I am responsible for my own well-being. And as you go deeper into the stillness, witness this white light wash all over your body, healing you, repairing you, making you stronger, joyful, and happy. Now get ready to breathe in a rhythm. We are going to inhale for 2 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds in a continuous circular rhythm for a few minutes so that your body can enter a deep state of relaxation and self-repair. Exhale and inhale 2, exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, exhale 2, 3, 4. In 2, out 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 2, 3, 4. In, out. In, out. Out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. out. And now go back to normal breathing. And enjoy the sensation of deep relaxation. And repeat these words in your mind. I am strong, capable, loving, harmonious, and happy. I am strong, capable, loving, harmonious, and happy. I am responsible for my own health. I am responsible for my own well-being. I am responsible for my own health. I am responsible for my own well-being. Come back to this meditation as much as you want. As you practice this every day, it will become easier and easier for your body to enter states of deep relaxation and self-repair. Much love and positive energy on the day ahead. Peace.